I'm Porter Brooks, and I am your host. Everyone's coming to the party. Don't miss it. Well, who doesn't like a great brunch? I'm Porter Brooks, and today I'm going to be making you an urban brunch, something that's great for big taste but small spaces. I first actually did this last spring when I was on a book tour, and it worked so perfectly I thought I'd bring you the entire episode because it was such a short segment. Here's the best thing. We're going to make a trio of shirred eggs using these beautiful pastel ramekins, and we're going to go to two of my most favorite places in the world. We're going to go to the Mediterranean, which has great flavors like the herbe de Provence and some saffron and some beautiful, beautiful Parmesan and white cheeses that are really lovely. And then where I went to school and spent a lot of my life is the American Southwest. This is going to have our cheese, our cilantro, and our chili peppers, all with eggs, roasted pepper. It's really, really easy, and you're going to love it because it all goes into the oven at the exact same time. The first thing to work with our pre-prepared polenta, and we're going to slice just a little less than a ½ inch off. This is going to be the base. It's going to be the starch in our egg dish, and we're going to put that in there. Also, don't forget to spray that ramekin. I'll go right on top of that. That way it just comes out nice and easy. We'll put our polenta in there. And then I want to chop up some breakfast ham. Today I just bought a single slab. Now you can buy this completely cubed, very, very available in the deli section. And you want them just under bite-sized cubes because it is going into these small ramekins. Each person is going to have a selection of 2 different eggs. So I just turn it and cut. And once those are cut, we are going to drop our ham in the bottom of the ramekins. Beautiful. Oh, that looks good. Feel free to substitute a turkey sausage if you'd like. You can use any type of breakfast meat, and it's going to taste absolutely wonderful. Now, if you haven't been watching lately, we're all into our tablets, and I'm going to lean on mine for the next step here. With our Mediterranean, we have our polenta, and then we're going to do basically 1 square of butter right on top of that. That is going to melt down on the polenta. So a little softened butter. We have 2 of those, and then our salt and our pepper. We want the salt and the pepper closest to the polenta because that's the starchy element, and that's where we need to absorb the flavor into. A little bit of black pepper. Okay, wonderful. Now, this is where the fun comes in. If you're working with kids, you can have them get in on this part. It's just the assembly. So I'm going to add a little bit of our Mediterranean cheese, and I'm going to push that down because there's an egg that's going on the top. And then from the Med, our herbes de Provence, right there. Oh yeah, that's going to be a great flavor. And what could be more exotic from Spain is these beautiful, beautiful saffron threads right on top. If you have a store-made tapenade or an olive paste or anything that's in that profile of flavors, it works perfect. Even a little spaghetti sauce left over from last night's dinner would be great as well. Okay, let's go on to our Southwest. So again, the bases are the same. We have our ham. But now we're going to go with our nice sharp cheddar. And we can also add a little jack or pepper jack with that, and cumin, the beautiful flavor of the Southwest right on top. And then of course we've got to have some chili powder. Now at this point I want you to make a little well. You can just use your hands, just push that down on both of them. And now we're going to go for the egg. 1 egg, nice and easy. 1 hit, and you want to lay that egg beautifully right on top of that ramekin. How easy is that? Second one, it's easier than it looks, I promise. Now these will go into an oven about 325 for just about 10 minutes. It's going to heat through, the ham is going to get all juicy and beautiful. We're going to add a little bit more salt right on top of those eggs. And just to identify which is which, I like to add and repeat some of the flavors. So on our Mediterranean, I'm going to take this beautiful roasted chili, Just lay that right on the side. Oh, that's gonna be good. And some more of our cheese right on the edge. I like to be able to see the yolk come right out of the top. It's like that sunny smile just greeting you and your guest in the morning. When I do this brunch for a group, I can literally put up to 24 ramekins on a single cookie sheet, put them all in at the same time, and take them all out. It works really, really well, and they can all be done the night before. All right, so cookie sheet is a secret. I'm using just a small pan, and I'm gonna place the ramekins on here, and I'm gonna pop them into my oven. Now, I've often overcooked these. You'll be surprised how fast that egg cooks, so keep your eye on that. About 10 minutes. We don't want a raw egg, but we do want it nice and runny inside, so it's ooey and gooey. All right, so the Mediterranean is in, the Southwestern is in. Feel free to use some other cheeses, again, like your pepper jack. Also, you know, a great treat on this is a seafood egg ramekin, and what you do is the exact same base, put a little Canadian bacon on top of the polenta, and then we're gonna add some crab and some hollandaise right on top. It is so decadent. It really, really is wonderful. All right, on to our urban brunch. Our pea shooter is really, really simple. We're going to be doing an ice shooter in the blender, and it's gonna be nothing but frozen peas and some fat-free half and half. So a fat-free shooter just to get the morning rolling when your guests show up. Now, it's 2 ingredients. How easy is that? You know, when I've done this on morning television, people don't believe me, but it's the truth. It's nothing but a bag of frozen peas and some fat-free half and half, or some whole milk, even if you want to stay away from the fat. Well, I don't know what you have going on in your house, but I love having my own herb gardens. And on our Southwestern one, I want the cilantro. I have this great wall garden growing, and I'm gonna just snip off, give this guy a little haircut, and bring it up to my board. That's gonna be so beautiful and bright. And then I've got these great chives that I'm gonna put on top of the shooter, which I'm gonna just chop up those, whoops, there they go, little by little and bit by bit. Having fresh herbs is really something nowadays that you can do year round. This will go on top of our shooter, and it's also gonna go on top of our Mediterranean. Keep your scissors handy like I always do, and use some great instruments that are from the region that you're cooking with. Today I'm using these beautiful hand-carved olive wood elements, and they just make a whole different layer to your entertaining and to your style. I'm Porter Brooks. When we come back, those eggs are coming out. I'm gonna show you 3 different centerpieces. They're all under $5 each. Don't miss this. I'll be right back. Well, who doesn't like a great brunch? I'm Porter Brooks, and today I'm gonna be making you an urban brunch, something that's great for big taste but small spaces. Well, we're back here on our Urban Brunch episode. In the oven, we have our shirred eggs 2 ways. We have the Mediterranean, and we have our Southwestern. It's ooey and gooey, filled with cheese and all those great flavors. And, you know, now I'm gonna get on to the tablescapes. I just ran down to the corner and got some beautiful tulips, which I'm gonna drop in, and some daisies and some white ostromeria. You know, these are really just dollar flowers. There's no reason to spend a whole lot of money on these items. What I want to show you is exactly how to clip your ends of the flowers, and when you're going to put them in a vase, very simply, you just want to hold it up to the edge, right on the side, look where the mark is, and you're going to cut basically about right there. I'm going to take those stems off and then pop them in the water, and I'm going to show you these great centerpieces that are sure to impress your guest. Okay, the first one is using a fresh produce, and this is dynamite in the springtime, but feel free to use it with carrots and anything else. What you see here is I have a clear glass vase, and I've got a rubber band around the bottom. And what I've done is I'm gonna lay this down, and I'm gonna take my fresh asparagus spears and slide them into the vase. Now you kind of want to pre-measure these so they're all at the same height. You'll see how this looks. It is so impressive. And a small vase like this works beautiful if you want to do like a breakfast in bed tray, which this menu is really, really good for. The ramekins make it easy to transport anywhere outside on the deck, to the beach, wherever you'd like to serve this lovely urban brunch. You know, it's all about big taste and small spaces, and this is something that will really, really be fun. All right, so now we're going to even that out. We have a rubber band, and I'm going to take just a little bit of raffia or any other type of ribbon that you may have, and if you like, we can actually wrap that right around to kind of hide that rubber band. We'll tie it at the bottom. You know, if this was Mother's Day, it could be pink. If it was for a shower, you could use baby blue or yellow. But basically, we're having this beautiful, beautiful, whoops, fresh vase. Let me tie that on there. Now, I'm going to choose to put the tulips on the inside because they're a shorter stem. Let me just get that around the bottom so that stays. All right. So here are our tulips. Same rule applies. We've got a little bit of water in there. And I'm simply going to look just at about the height of the vase and grab my scissors. And we're going to cut those off. And then we're going to take them right back into the vase. Look how beautiful that is. It's fresh. It's easy. Your guests are going to love it. I promise, under $5, under 5 minutes. Okay, our next one is really nothing more than turning over our wine glasses. So I've got some white Ostermaria. I like using monotones, basically the exact same color. You could use pink if you'd like or anything else. And I'm looking for 3 of the biggest clusters. So let me cut those from here. 2, 3, let's see, what do we have around the front? Where's a good one? All right, you guys can always see better at home than I can here. There we go. That's perfect. All right, now let me show you something. 3 wine glasses. This is your basic white wine glass. I'm going to take the bloom, I'm going to set it right there with my hand, and I'm going to turn the glass upside down. All right, there's the first one. Now you want to do this at the last minute because these blooms are going to be on your table without fresh water. So it's important that they last. Again, I'm going to tuck it in that glass and just turn it over. Let's get that guy in there. Perfect. And the last one, I first did this in Nashville. Everybody went crazy for it. And I just really think it's a simple, sophisticated way. If you have 3 wine glasses in your house, you can do this centerpiece. Let's pop those there. Now, what makes it special? Repeat the shape. I have a round votive holder, and I'm going to put 1 on each wine glass. And then, of course, you can't have a centerpiece without lighting your candle and dropping that in. So let's do the second one. See how easy this would be, a single one on a breakfast tray down the middle of a very long line. If you want something architectural, go straight down. How beautiful. 3 candles burning under a beautiful bloom. Now, let me show you how to make a name card. Save 3 of those asparagus, and you're just going to bunch them up and get a rubber band. If you want to use a colored one, you can. You want to wrap that around probably 2 or 3 times just to make sure that they're all together, just like that. And then I had a piece of raffia or ribbon, which you could use. I'm just going to try to cover the rubber band a little bit. Turn it once, turn it twice. Again, if you're a bow tire, which I am not, you can do something a little bit more fancy. But for me, I think it's all about the organic element. Now, all we're going to do is just make sure that we have a trio of those and take a business card, turn it over, and write the person's name on it. And you're going to pop it right there. And then in a beautiful little pinch bowl of rock salt, simply stand up. There we go. We got to get room in there. You now have a perfect place card holder. I'll be right back. Well, who doesn't like a great brunch? I'm Porter Brooks, and today I'm going to be making you an urban brunch, something that's great for big taste but small spaces. We are back here on our urban brunch. Oh, did I tell you how beautiful those eggs were going to be? Let me get a set of tongs really quick. When handling hot ramekins, you always want to use something else. Now here's my beautiful tablescape. I have all the flatware put together in the same one. Oh, look at that. There is our beautiful Mediterranean. Lovely. And look at our Southwestern. just like, you want to get that close, it's shaky, a big souffle. Wonderful. Oh, they smell so good. All right, I promised you a Spring-Pea Shooter, and I'm back at my blender. I told you 2 ingredients, right? I need to have 1 bag of frozen, they must be frozen, spring peas. And then we're gonna fill it with some fat-free half and half. How easy is that? And a pinch of white pepper, just a pinch, it'll be great. A little bit of salt we'll add in there. All right, you wanna put your lid on and start low. And you'll add liquid as need be. You want those frozen. It's basically like working with an ice cube. On again, stir, and then process. Wonderful. That is all there is to it. Look at that beautiful spring pea. Now I have these great shooter glasses. I'm going to pour it into each glass, nice and easy. It's going to go right in front of each and every place. Okay, so my tablescape is coming together. I like to add a little bit of texture. This is sea glass. They're shards that have come off the beach in great colors. You can see this is really a cheery breakfast. What's going to happen is your guests are going to reach out and they're going to touch each one of these elements, and they're great conversational pieces because people just get friendly when there's things to talk about. So out of the oven again are 2 shirred eggs, 1 Mediterranean, 1 Southwestern. The last thing that I'm going to be working with is there's our name tag, which fell over. My name on there for today. The last thing I'm going to be working with is in a different colored ramekin. I have this beautiful honeydew, and I'm going to mix some wonderful large shrimp with the honeydew. Pop those guys back in there. Got a little ahead of myself. And just give it a nice, even turn. We want all the juices of the honeydew in there, flavoring that. And I like an exotic honey on this. A smoky mesquite or a lavender will work absolutely beautiful. Look at that beautiful honey. We're going to top each one with that. So again, using your impeccably clean hands, some shrimp and honeydew, stand the tails up so it looks very elegant. And now the big drizzle. Beautiful flavor that's coming together. And I'm going to set that as the 3rd item on my plate. All right, we have a tablescape set really for very, very good friends. This morning I'm going to serve a sparkling rosé. I think it's the perfect way to start your brunch. You want to pull the cage off. If you're not familiar with how you open a bottle of champagne or sparkling, I'm going to show you right now. Take the foil off first, and this is called the cage. You want to unscrew the cage. Some people like to save those as a souvenir. And then you want to take your dish towel, hold it, and turn the bottle, never the cork. Watch. Ah, see? Nothing is lost. Look how easy that is. Right into the first glass. And how do you stop it from going over? You put your finger in it. I don't know if you knew this. The best trick. Fill the second one. Look at the colors coming together. You see the pink on the ramekin. You see the rosé. This is very, very light. Nice and chilled. Oh. 3. Let's go back to these guys here. By the way, if you didn't know, anything bubbles is always a 2 pour, and you can have fun with your guests talking to them about the second time back. We'll do the last one, and then always 1 for the host. Our beautiful eggs. We've got it. And our honeydew, and that's always for me, the one that spills. Okay, let's grab a fork and see what we've got here. I'm going to work from this side of my bar. Oh, this is the beautiful eggs. Nice and crispy on the top. I'm going to reach in there. Get just a little bite of that. There's that ham I want. Oh, hot and beautiful. I blew my candle out. That is excellent. The shrimp, let me get that. Sweet, perfect for the morning. Perfect contrast. And let me do our Southwestern. I want that cheesy bit in there. See that beautiful yellow yolk of the egg? That's what I was after. Here we go. Hot, hot, hot. Wow. Yummy, if I do say so myself. And of course, a sip just to wash it down on this urban brunch. All right, the last flavor is the one you're going to start with, and that is our frozen pea shooter. You saw that. 2 ingredients, well 3 if you count pepper. And we're going to shoot it. Wow, that is so icy cold and so refreshing. Well, you've seen it all, and our urban brunch is done. It's small spaces and big tastes. I'm Porter Brooks. You can tweet me at @ThePorterBrooks. All these recipes, these tips, these tricks, these techniques, everything's there. Check me out online. Throw this party. Blog me. Absolutely. Send me a message and tell me how it went. Next time, when we get together, I'll be entertaining the world one table at a time.